Paternity Court, where emotions run high and the truth often hides in the shadows. Buckle up as we dive into another episode filled with twists, drama, and heart-stopping revelations. Our first entry features a shocking tale of uncertainty, lies, and a battle for paternity that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Mr. Ahmad thought he had finally hit the parenting jackpot. For him, this was the moment he had been waiting for all his life. He arrived in the court, fully charged and ready to claim the baby girl he believed was his. But wait, things were about to take a shocking turn.
Mr. Ahmad, you say you were overjoyed to be a father after the birth of your first child, 22-month-old Nevaeh. However, you claim that you were crushed when the defendant later told you another man could be her dad. You are here today to prove you are Nevaeh's father. Is that correct?
Ahmad was over the moon with the baby news. After years of anticipation, this felt like his big break. He was ecstatic at the thought of being a father, something he had always dreamed of. The joy of knowing that he had a daughter filled his heart, and he imagined all the special moments they would share. But as soon as he started feeling this happiness, things got complicated. Ahmad's elation was clouded by doubt, a nagging suspicion that gnawed at his excitement, leaving him in a state of uncertainty. Could this really be his daughter? The more he thought about it, the more unclear everything became.
To be my first child, so I was overjoyed. She was high risk, so she couldn't work. So what I did, I tried to do as best as a man that I could do to
And
help.
you all were in what kind of relationship? Committed, or were you just casual friends, or what?
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Boyfriend and girlfriend, okay.
But then we learn Ahmad wasn't the only one in this mess. Mommy had her own set of commitment issues, to say the least. She called their relationship nothing more than a friendship. Ouch. Imagine the shock Ahmad must have felt hearing that. It was like being blindsided by a truck. Here he was, imagining that he was building a family, and all along, she viewed their connection as nothing serious. The look on his face said it all. This was not the love story he thought he was in. It's like a rom-com, except there's no romance and definitely no comedy here.
It was more of a friendship for me. I loved Mr. Ahmad, but I wasn't in love with him. It was just, he was there for me, and I needed somebody to be there for me.
And how I found out she was pregnant, she came one morning and knocked on my window.
And just when Ahmad's heart was swelling with hope, Ms. Day started whispering doubts. She openly questioned his paternity skills, throwing shade at him every chance she got. For Ahmad, this wasn't just about proving he was the father. It was a test of his emotional strength. This was a full-blown emotional roller coaster. One moment he thought he might have a daughter. The next, he was being painted as someone unfit to claim a child. He had to navigate the space between love and heartbreak, hoping that the court would give him the answers he so desperately needed.
She was at my residence every day.
That's not true. We didn't even get along that much. I was not at his house every day. We argued so much, I never lived with him. Like, he would, when I spent the night, some nights he would kick me out at 2 in the morning.
Why are you so upset now? Because you feel...
I just feel like he trying to make me seem like a bad person when
No, ma'am.
But hold up. Turns out Ahmad wasn't so innocent himself. Ms. Day wasn't going to let him off the hook easily. She started spilling some serious tea about his behavior. Oh yeah, she dropped bombs that could bring any man down. Accusations flew fast and furious, revealing details of their relationship that painted Ahmad in a very different light. But he wasn't about to let it slide. He fought back, trying to defend his actions. It was a battle of wills right in front of us, and the drama just kept escalating.
Another possible father.
I've never known another man. She's been.
That's not true.
I went to work.
When I told him,
and I
he was
came home.
intoxicated, and he kicked me out the same night that I told him.
I disagree with that because now I feel like you're trying to make me feel some kind of.
Ahmad was trapped in a "she might be mine" nightmare. Despite everything, he was still involved in the baby's life as much as possible. But when it came time to sign the birth certificate, everything came to a head. Ms. Day had different plans. She refused to let him sign, and Ahmad was left stunned, wondering what on earth had just happened. It felt like his world was crumbling, and the fatherhood dream was slipping away faster than he could grasp it. What could he possibly do next? It's the type of twist you don't see coming.
Sign a birth certificate.
I didn't let you. You did it on your own.
How did he do it on his own? Did the hospital get the information from you?
No, they asked him, was he the father? And he told them yes. And they asked him, did he want to sign the birth certificate? And he told them yes.
And what did you say at the time?
As the court dug deeper into the case, it became clear that this situation was far more complex than it appeared. The judge explored the finer details of hospital protocol, revealing a critical piece of information. A father can only sign the birth certificate if the mother provides the necessary consent and details. This raised an important question. Was Ms. Day actively blocking Ahmad from being listed as the father? Was this all part of some larger plan? The tension in the courtroom grew with each passing moment, and it felt like the situation was on the verge of spiraling out of control.
We actually contacted the hospital because we wanted to find out what the protocol was for the execution of birth certificates. And per the hospital where Nevaeh was born, the procedure is when they admit a mother of a child into the maternity ward, she is asked to fill out a form for the birth certificate, including...
But here's the kicker. Everything flipped when the baby stopped resembling Ahmad. This was the moment that turned everything upside down. Ahmad had always harbored doubts, but seeing that the baby's features no longer matched his was a blow he hadn't anticipated. Ms. Day, however, maintained her stance, insisting that she had been honest all along, but actions speak louder than words, and her social media painted a very different picture. Posts, comments, and pictures revealed information that suggested she hadn't been entirely truthful. Was there more to the story than Ahmad could have ever imagined?
Father's Day to my child's father. Even though she's not here yet, he's already amazing. He takes damn good care of us. I'm proud to call him mine.
That's because he was there. He was there. He wanted to be her father. So
that was before she was born.
What's even crazier? The unveiling of a second baby daddy, Mr. Flowers, another man who could potentially be the father. His involvement complicated things even further, and Ahmad's frustration grew as it became clear that Ms. Day had a deeper connection with this man. Ahmad was not happy about this revelation, and understandably so. What started as a simple paternity test was now a tangled web of relationships, lies, and secrets. The tension was thick as the court tried to make sense of this increasingly chaotic situation.
That's who she know as her father. That's who she know as her dad.
Where's the other man? Do you know where he is?
Yes.
Does he want to be a part of her life?
Yes.
He does.
He takes care of her.
You live together.
Oh.
Right.
I think I want to talk to this other gentleman. He is
Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The results were in, and the entire courtroom was on edge. Ahmad's face was a mix of anxiety and hope as he prepared himself for the final revelation. Would his worst fears be confirmed, or would there be an unexpected twist that no one saw coming? The air was thick with anticipation as the results were read aloud, and the outcome was set to change everything. Let's dive into the results and see who walks away with the truth.
Ahmad versus Day, pertaining to whether Mr. Ahmad or Mr. Flowers is the biological father of 22-month-old Nevaeh Ahmad. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Flowers.
Our next entry with her first kid at 14, but she insists that despite her young start, she knows all the fathers of her kids. Now she says that Mr. Harris is the father of her 9-month-old kids. And here is what Mr. Harris thinks about that.
Who first became a father at the age of 12, going on 13. Although that child was yours, you're certain that Miss Galloway's twins are not.
Yes, Your Honor.
You all got started having babies way too young. How did you get together?
Well, Your Honor, actually it wasn't a relationship, Your Honor. It was just one night stands and here and there pleasurable moments, to be honest, Your Honor.
And that is how it begins. One day, he is helping you with your groceries, and another day, the both of you are in paternity court having a dispute over whether he is the father of your twin kids. So how did this even go down anyway?
And he said, so when you gonna let me in the house? I said, what you talking about? He said, when you gonna let me come over? I said, the only time you're gonna come over is if we're having a Bible study. Okay, so, as time goes by, I do occasionally see him in the churches playing or whatever, so, I do start conversating with him.
Wait, what? Am I getting this correctly? So Mr. Harris and Ms. Galloway just took a walk, found an opened van in the middle of nowhere, and then had intimate relations in the van? No way. There must be something else. Here is what Ms. Galloway thinks.
He didn't touch me or anything that night,
minutes.
so, I felt comfortable, like everything was gonna be okay. So, the next morning is when, I'm waking up, I'm feeling him,
Okay.
That's not true.
Go past that part.
Okay, so, we end up getting involved. We did get involved in that van the next morning because, that night, I felt comfortable with it. I felt like it was okay or whatever.
You met him in church.
Yes.
This is just messy. So they didn't sleep together in the van that night, they just slept together the next morning. Yeah, that makes it all dandy, and you have got to remember that Mr. Harris knew the dude that Ms. Galloway was seeing at the time. And you know it. It gets worse.
45 minutes?
You mean 4 to 5 minutes?
You saying 30?
It was not no 4 to 5 minutes.
Well, it was long enough to potentially produce 2 beautiful babies.
That was just the first occasion. There was actually another occasion because, after the first time of, it only being that short, maybe he could, do a little something more. So maybe, that short period of time wasn't all
Was he auditioning?
No.
You know what? It seems like Ms. Galloway is more interested in telling the world that Mr. Harris cannot hold it up for too long. She hasn't even spoken about her kids yet. Anyway, here is what happened when she eventually found out she was pregnant.
What do you say? What do you tell him?
Okay, so January 18th is when I took the home pregnancy test. And that's when I sent him the text message and the pictures. Now, right after that, I went to the emergency room and she said that you have 2 babies. And I'm like, okay, 2 babies, you got the wrong person. She was like, no, this is you. You're 10 weeks long now. And this is 2 babies right here I see.
This is insane. Mr. Harris says he wasn't even informed that he might be the father of the kids till they were born. And he got informed through a Facebook post where his face was matched with the newborn twins? Really, Ms. Galloway? But she has an excuse for doing that. Let's see what she has to say.
Right after I told him that I was having twins, shortly after, he ended up leaving Florida. And he stopped calling like he used to. And she's not here today as a witness, but the lady that I stay with she saw everything that happened. She was the one who was listening to the phone calls. She was like, I don't know why you're doing this. And even a friend, Lonnie, was telling me you don't want to.
Your ex-boyfriend that you was with before you was with me?
You don't want to. That's a lie.
Whoa. So Mr. Harris insists that Ms. Galloway is no innocent goody-two-shoes lady. He says that she was sleeping with a fellow musician while she dated him, and that is the real tea. The good news is that this other dude is in court today. Anyway, let us see what Ms. Galloway has to say about these heavy accusations.
Ms. Galloway, during the period of conception?
No, I was only talking to him. That's why I said she's not here because she's working.
No, that's what y'all should have been doing, was just talking.
You're right.
You have no doubt in your mind.
Not at all, because during this time, like I said,
Did you sleep with Mr. Samuels too?
No.
So it is clear now. Ms. Galloway insists that she did not sleep with Mr. Samuels during this period and only slept with Mr. Harris. That is what is called a definitive claim. Let us see what Mr. Harris thinks about that claim.
You told me out your own mouth. Just like the boyfriend you had before you met me and had sex with me, you are
trying to throw up everything that you can.
It ain't no case. You only want child support.
Are you serious?
Your Honor, I know my proof and my facts, Your Honor.
Not even 2 weeks after he had the pictures on Facebook, he took the pictures down.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to claiming, I'm far from dead because I take care of anything I make. I went on and did my research.
Now we have an argument. Mr. Harris insists that he cannot be the father of the kids because Ms. Galloway didn't even put his name on the birth certificate and they don't have his last name. He says this means she isn't even sure he is the father, and it gets more complicated with Mr. Samuel's testimony.
No, ma'am, I am not the father of the twins. Look at him, y'all. Come on now, look at him, look at the babies. Think about it. Ray is known as being a hoe.
Okay, let's speak respectfully. Say it nicely.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Okay, well, he's known for being a dog.
I'm a dog. What are you? Your wife know you here right now?
Okay.
Your wife even know you down here right now.
We had the same past.
Oh, wow. It is settled now, isn't it? Ms. Galloway insists that there is absolutely no other possibility, so Mr. Harris has got to be the father of the kids. Let us see if the DNA test has anything at all to say about that.
Mr. Samuels, you are not the father. Mr. Harris, you are the twins' father. Well, my research says that you're in fact the biological father. How many children do you have?
It's 9, Your Honor.
9.
Features a shocking tale of deception, chaos, and the ultimate paternity test showdown. In this case, viewers are in for a roller coaster ride with Mr. Scott and Ms. Kalon, who together bring a whirlwind of accusations and unexpected twists. From the outset, it's clear that this is not just a simple paternity dispute, but a complex web of emotions, uncertainty, and conflicting narratives. Mr. Scott believes that he has a rightful place in this child's life, while Ms. Kalon's actions suggest a deep deeper story filled with secrets. As the drama unfolds in the courtroom, the audience will witness a battle that challenges the very fabric of trust, love, and responsibility, leaving everyone on the edge of their seats, eager to discover the truth behind the chaos. Mr. Scott is no stranger to the courtroom. He's a repeat offender in paternity court. Having already faced the paternity test ringer before, Scott finds himself back in familiar territory, but this time with an entirely new case. His demeanor speaks of a man worn down by past experiences. Little does he know that Ms. Kalon is about to present her own version of events, leaving everyone in shock.
Mr. Scott, welcome back.
How you doing?
Now, you previously appeared in this court and it was determined that you now have 7 children by 4 women.
Yes, sure.
You're here today.
Ms. Kalon enters the courtroom with an almost eerie calmness, leaving everyone questioning how she managed to maintain her composure through such a tumultuous ordeal. However, as viewers soon discover, her story is anything but serene. It is packed with vanishing acts and an online romance that spiraled out of control, leading to a whirlwind of chaos and heartache. The contrast between her tranquil demeanor and the emotional turmoil that surrounds her creates a palpable tension in the courtroom. As the layers of her narrative begin to unravel, it becomes clear that the truth behind her calm exterior is far more complicated than it seems.
Was excited when he found out you were pregnant, but then only a few months before you gave birth, Mr. Scott disappeared. You argue that the only reason he's denying your baby is because you've since learned he was in another relationship.
Plenty of them, I've
the
heard.
entire time you were together.
That's not true.
Ms. Kalon, your counter.
Their relationship began like many modern romances, online. Scott and Kalon connected through the digital world, navigating the virtual landscape that often blurs the lines of reality. After a few weeks of chatting, they decided to take things offline, eager to explore the chemistry they felt in person. For about 3 weeks to a month, they played the role of 2 people falling fast, lost in the thrill of new love and the excitement of their budding connection. However, as anyone who watches Paternity Court knows, things are rarely as simple as they seem. Behind the initial allure of their romance lurked complexities and unresolved issues that would soon unravel their relationship, revealing the often messy truth of modern love.
We met online. We chatted for about 3 weeks. I'll say 3 weeks to a month, something like that, you know. So she came to visit me. She came to my city. She came to visit me. You know, we hung out. We spent time. We had a nice time that night. No big deal, you know. It was nice. It was nice. She went to sleep. I happened to go through her phone. I went through her phone.
On the first night?
Trust issues soon arose, leading to accusations of phone snooping and deceit that cast a shadow over their once promising relationship. The rapid pace at which their connection developed left little room for a solid foundation, and the cracks began to show. What started as a whirlwind romance quickly spiraled into chaos. Things took a dark turn, unveiling hidden insecurities and misunderstandings that escalated tensions between them. If Romeo and Juliet's story was tragic, this tale feels more like a soap opera gone terribly wrong, filled with melodrama, unexpected twists, and heartbreak that seemed almost scripted. Their journey, rife with emotional upheaval, transformed from a passionate love story into a cautionary tale about the dangers of rushing into love without addressing the underlying issues.
Went to sleep. I happened to go through her phone. I went through her phone.
On the first night?
Yeah, well, you know, the reason why I went through your phone, the reason why I went through your phone,
he had no reason to go through my phone.
Her phone didn't ring all day, so I got suspicious.
As the courtroom drama unfolds, Ms. Kalon reveals the true extent of the chaos surrounding their relationship. According to her, Scott went all out for her, showering her with affection, but his narrative of insecurity was unfounded. She asserts that she got pregnant the very first time she visited him, a shocking twist that deepens their tumultuous story. Her testimony paints a picture of a relationship filled with passion and mystery as she navigates the complexities while countering Scott's claims. The atmosphere in the courtroom is thick with tension as both sides present their versions of the truth, leaving everyone eager to see how this dramatic saga will unfold.
Okay, I didn't go just jump off and go see him.
Yeah,
we was talking for months,
Okay.
back and forth.
It's like 3 weeks.
And you know, I paid for my trip to go out there. Never paid for nothing. I paid when we wasn't at his mother's house.
Scott didn't come to court empty-handed. He prepared what he believed were facts that would clear his name. However, Ms. Kalon was ready to counter with her own revelations. The courtroom realized this wasn't just a matter of he said, she said.
Other men, male parts, okay?
real?
Pictures of other male part, and it was another. She was like, "Well, I'm finna go to Lancaster to visit a friend, a family member."
And she did it like that?
Pictures of male,
and the
other
guy responds like, I mean, the guy
my
says,
kids
"Well."
would play with my phone, Your Honor. There was nothing like that.
Ms. Kalon portrayed Scott as the biggest liar of all time. As the details of their relationship came to light, viewers learned of motels, secretive meetings, and the mystery surrounding their whirlwind romance. What began as a seemingly innocent online connection had turned into a tangled mess of lies, leading to Ms. Kalon's pregnancy, or not. Only science would tell. The doubt was substantiated when Scott's name was not on the child's birth certificate.
Like jinxing me.
Because she's sick. That's what she said. She called me and said, "You jinxed me." I said, "Well, you sick, you throwing up." Like, come on, you got kids. You know, come on. I said, "You're pregnant." And then we're supposed to name the baby. If the baby's mine, then why the baby don't have my last name? It's the same thing.
Because he wasn't there. He like
why wasn't I there?
Why am I going to put you on the birth certificate?
Because I had my reasons and my dad.
After so much back and forth, it was time to announce the results, and let's just say Ms. Kalon's confidence soon became deflated.
In the case of Scott versus Kalon, as it pertains to 4-month-old Ezra Edward, Mr. Scott, you are not the father.
I apologize.
I guess my assumptions was right.
Riley say that Ms. Riley has admitted to being unfaithful and was intimate with 2 different men around the conception period. This means they are not confident that the baby in question belongs to Mr. Riley. Here is how it starts out.
Wife lies and cheats, and
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
here hoping to put an end to their marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mrs. Riley, you admit to having a one-night stand with one father as well as a month-long affair with another man.
Wow, that is a crazy way to start out your testimony. Ms. Tucker is so sure that Ms. Riley isn't the right person for her son, and she will do everything she can to make sure they get divorced. But Mrs. Riley has a few things to say about that.
I ain't married to her. I'm married to my husband, James Riley.
And he's still my son and will be my son to the
And
day
he's
I
still
die.
my husband. I'm not going to work.
So,
death do us
Ms. Tucker,
part.
what is it that you see going on in their marriage that causes so much concern?
The incident with the whole baby thing, she's the one that told me.
Hold up, wait a minute. What did she mean by she went to an ultrasound with her husband and her boyfriend? What? That does not even make any sense. Why would her husband do that? Let's get more details.
You went to an ultrasound
Yes,
appointment
he did.
during
He
your
knew the
pregnancy?
whole time. So I don't see why she's here trying to break us apart. She don't need to be here. This ain't her
So
house.
in
She's
your
seen my
statement,
kids
you
one
so
time.
Ms. Riley,
And that's my
in your
husband.
statement, you admitted to a one-night stand. So
Yes, I
tell
did.
me what happened.
What happened? Me and him was fighting.
Well, he wasn't that ugly then, was he? I wonder how Mr. Riley feels about his wife admitting in open court that some ugly dude that she didn't like was the best time of her life. That is the sort of thing that can break a man's mind, and it gets worse. Of course it does, because here is that ugly dude with his own statement.
I first met her, I wasn't really attracted to her or anything like that. I had a one-night stand with her is because that night, we were partying and, got a little messed up, and then things start leading to one thing to another. After I messed around with her, she texts my friend like every day, wanting to hang out. I still text her for a little bit, but she started getting like stalker. And I found out she was married after I messed around with her, and I'm like, I can't do that. First she's a married woman.
What? This is crazy. First she called him ugly, and now he reveals that he thinks she is ugly too. And she used to actually stalk him and call up his family members? So we know about the one-night stand. How about the boyfriend? Let's see.
I thought everything was going to be better. He kept telling me that we're working on our marriage. He'll treat me right. Again, things kept escalating. I stayed with the boyfriend at a hotel for 2 weeks. It was
So
great.
you said you were at a hotel for 2 weeks?
I left my husband for the boy. I kept telling the boyfriend I miss my husband. I want to be with him. That's who I've been with for.
This is the craziest story ever. They became friends? What do you mean they became friends? Like they became buddies? What? Imagine becoming your wife's boyfriend's friend? That is insane, and it gets even worse.
Ms. Riley, how long did you live at your marital home with your boyfriend and your husband?
About a month.
She was sleeping with them both.
You slept with them both during that time?
Yes, I will admit to that because I was confused.
Wait, what does she mean by she was confused? Does she mean she didn't know which one of the 2 men was her husband? Maybe they really looked alike, so she was jumping into the boyfriend's bed thinking he was her husband? What did Mr. Riley think about all of this?
One night she'd sleep with him on the couch, and then the next night she'd
They
be like,
both
I'm with
knew.
you, and then she'd sleep in the bed with me.
Yeah.
They both knew. I never
So
lied about
now,
money.
I actually caught them having sex on the floor while I was at work.
While he was at work, the other one, yes.
I got off an hour early, and I felt gut feeling, and the blinds was shut. I come in, and
That is how he finds out she was pregnant? You see, now I get why his mother is so involved in this case, because it does not look like Mr. Riley has any steel in him. He is just doing whatever Mrs. Riley wants him to do. Anyway, let's talk about this baby.
Obviously
right
you don't.
here
Obviously you
of the
don't.
calendar. If you look by the date, it's James.
Ooh, let's go by the date.
All right, Jerome, can
Chad
you
was
please
before
hand me
I
this
got
calendar?
pregnant.
Baby don't look
that
nothing
baby
like
looks
you.
just like
That baby
him.
don't
You
look
got a baby
nothing like
picture
you.
of James?
Sure do.
You got a baby picture?
Sure
that
do.
baby looks dead on
No, he don't
him.
look
And
dead
my
on.
baby
No,
is
he does
beautiful.
not look.
Sorry, Miss Tucker, that baby does kind of look like Mr. Riley. Seriously, the baby is even kind of bald already. But that is just my opinion. It is time to get the DNA test results and see what they say.
Mr. Schaefer, the man Mrs. Riley had a one-night stand with, is not the father. Let's go to the next result. Jerome, do you have the envelope, please? Mr. Riley, you are not the father.
That's okay. He'll still be the dad no matter what.
Yeah. 4.
You don't know.
Let's
Ms. Galloway got pregnant with